Stefon Diggs, one of the NFL's most electrifying wide receivers, who's known for constantly making defenders miss and facing tough opponents. But right now, he's facing a different kind of opponent. Not a cornerback and not a safety. This time, it's a courtroom. The former Patriots star is locked in a bitter legal war with a man named Christopher Blake Griffith. The alleged incident where Griffith says that he was drugged and sexually assaulted took place on May 22, 2023 at Stefon Diggs' Rockville, Maryland home. Griffith formally filed a police report with the Montgomery Police Department regarding the assault, and he then later filed a civil suit. It all started back in May 2023. Griffith, a social media influencer and stylist who's worked with celebrities like Drake and boxers like Gervonta Davis, was flown out by Diggs' camp to the Washington, D.C. area. The two were to attend a charity basketball game together and later return to Diggs' home in Rockville, Maryland. According to Griffith, that's when things went terribly wrong. In his countersuit, Griffith claims that Diggs offered him what he thought was candy, but he says was actually laced with drugs. Griffith alleges that after consuming it, his pupils became extremely dilated, his skin began to tingle, and he struggled to form complete sentences. Then he says Diggs made unwanted sexual advances, exposing himself, trying to kiss him, putting his tongue in Griffith's ear, and whispering for him to come to my room. Griffith says he rejected the advances and did not consent to any physical contact. But Griffith says that it didn't end there. About a week later, on May 29, 2023, he claims he was ambushed near the elevator of his Los Angeles apartment complex. His alleged attackers were Stefon's brother, Derez Diggs, and several others. Griffith says he was assaulted and that more than $100,000 worth of his property was taken. That led to a separate $10 million lawsuit against Derez Diggs. That case was recently settled quietly out of court. The terms were completely sealed. Neither side has publicly commented on the resolution. So who sued who first? That's where it gets interesting. In October 2025, while still a member of the New England Patriots, Diggs actually sued Griffith first. He filed a defamation lawsuit claiming Griffith was spreading lies that damaged his reputation and hurt his endorsement relationships. But Griffith fired back with a countersuit, alleging sexual battery, assault, and claiming that Diggs drugged him. Diggs has denied every allegation, calling them completely false and defamatory. Recently, Griffith told the court that he's turned over more than 100 pages of communications, including iMessage and Instagram conversations, that he says backs up all of his claims. Diggs' team had demanded those messages, arguing Griffith had provided them during the discovery. But Griffith's response is that Diggs already has access to those conversations.
If I turn over the discovery, you have access to what I turned in. I have access to what you turned in. So why, if you have access to what I turned in, and I have access to what you turned in, would you publicly ask me to post what you already have access to?
So where does that leave Stefon Diggs? On the field, he's coming off a 1,000-yard season with the Patriots, but he was released in March and remains a free agent. According to ESPN, at least 5 teams have checked in on him, but they'd have to deal with the baggage. Off the field, the legal headaches keep on piling up. There's a separate lawsuit from a former employee over a stolen Ferrari, and earlier this year, Diggs was acquitted of felony strangulation and assault charges involving his former personal chef. The NFL investigated and decided not to suspend him. But the core case, the one with Christopher Griffith, is still very much alive. Neither side's allegations have been proven in court, and for now it's just messy, he said, she said legal drama with no end in sight. And until it's resolved, Diggs' future both on and off the field remains uncertain.